So, breaking Forest transfer news for you. Forest are deal agreed with not one, but two Juventus players. Welcome to your Forest news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest news. Coming up on today's video, I'll talk to you about the two Juve players that are deal agreed with the club for Forest from Juventus, and I'll tell you if I'm excited about them or not. So let's get into it. Make sure you've hit that like button. Make sure you've subscribed as well. If you're new, you know the drill by now. And you've only got a couple of days left on these football prizes giveaway. So make sure you go and check them out. Get your tickets. They're only 99p. You can win this signed framed Forest shirt, this signed framed Nuno shirt, and 75 other prizes to give away, all for 99p. Go grab your tickets by scanning this QR code or clicking in the link that's pinned in the comments. All right, let's jump into the news. And before I get to the deal agreed bit, let me just kind of bring you up to speed with what's happening. Things have moved quite fast today. Obviously, this video is out a little late because we were doing the watch along earlier as Botafogo went through in the Club World Cup. So it means no early release on Igor Jesus to us. But Forest just seemed to be in the summer of black and white striped shirt teams. We've gone into Botafogo. We've looked at Igor Jesus and we're like, who else you got? And then obviously we're trying to do the deal for Jai Cunha and of course for Cubano as well. And now we've gone to Juventus. And for us, like, who have you got? Because there are 5 Forest players linked from Juventus. It's getting a bit silly now. Imagine we get them all. Like, will Juventus have any players left? But it's not the two that I really wanted. I wanted Douglas Luiz and Casemiro, Cambiasso. Those are my two favorites from there. Vlahovic would have been good as well, but there are 2 others that Forest have gone in for today. So let's start you from the beginning on this story. There's an article on it. It will be easier to run through that, and then we'll go through the players. So let's jump across to this article. So reports today suggest that Juventus and Forest agreed to deal on Tim Weah. And yes, before you do ask, his dad is the legendary striker as well. So this report has come out and it says Tim Weah could possibly be heading to England to play in the Premier League, according to reports from Matteo Moretto, who is very good, by the way, as a journalist. Juventus have reached a deal with Forest to acquire the 25-year-old winger. Blah, blah, blah. And this was the report that was dropped. Weah arrived at Juventus in 2023 from Lille and has partnered up with fellow American, basically, USMNT teammate McKennie for 2 seasons. Weah has 7 goals and 6 assists and 78 appearances across all competitions. The report states that Forest are looking to add both Weah and Samuel Mbangula as well during the summer transfer window, with a transfer deal in the neighbourhood of 22 million euros, which is about 16 to 17 million pounds. And that's been agreed upon for the 2 players. The deal still requires both players to agree to personal terms. Weah is currently with Juventus at the Club World Cup, where he appeared in their first match. Oh man, we're going to have to do another bloody watch along for these ones. A 5-0 victory over El Ain. In a move to Nottingham Forest, Weah would join a team and that finished 7-1. We know where Forest finished, right? So that's the initial report. Now, that's got moved on further. And it's got moved on by Matteo as well. He has put out on a tweet to say that deal has been agreed between the 2 clubs. And that's kind of where I want to start with, right? So if we bring this up, we'll start with Weah. He's a right winger. He's 25 years old. I saw him more at Lille than honestly I did at Juve, because Lille is my French team club, kind of ish. I just really liked Renato Sanchez for a while. He's baller on FIFA. Anyway, a whole other story. Am I excited by him? No. He's decent. He will give competition to Elanga. If he's a replacement for Elanga, I'm 100% against this. Let me get that out clear. But if you're looking for someone who's going to play games instead of Elanga needs to be rested, or God forbid he gets injured, then fine. What I don't want to happen with these wingers is these wingers come in and end up in the Sosa and Jota position where they're not really used all season, and then suddenly when we need to use them, they're not up to game speed, they're not up to much sharpness and things like that. I think one of the few criticisms I have over Nuno in the season was that there wasn't enough kind of implementation of those additional wingers. I still don't know how good Sosa is, if I'm being honest with you. Now, he scored a few goals, but I don't think he's really clinical enough in front of goal. What he is quite quick and quite decent as a dribbler. I'm just not excited by him. I'll be honest with you guys, man. I'm starting to struggle with this transfer window. I get it, like Forest are doing the Forest things here, but this guy's not on my shopping list. Now, it doesn't make him a bad player. It doesn't mean I don't want him to come. I just want to know what he's going to be utilised for. Is he a Elanga replacement? And could Elanga be wearing black and white? If, according to all the Geordies, he might be. I don't think so, though. But if he is there to fight with Elanga for that position, then I'm okay with it. Where he's unusual in terms of his position is that most of the times, a bit like Elanga, a right winger usually is left-footed, so they can cut in and kind of hit it with their stronger foot. He's a bit like Elanga, right-sided, kind of old-school orthodox, plays on the right wing. He can also play at right wing back as well. Outside of that, I can't really say too much more about him because honestly, it's been a while since I've watched him properly, and I'm sure his game has developed a bit more at Juventus. I can give you some stats on him. So in terms of what he's done, he's played for Juventus. Let's have a look here. 60 games and 5 goals. Also an American or USA international. 44 goals in 7 games. And he's contracted till 2028. Now, the one that does interest me more, and again, it's not one that I would have seen a lot of because he's only played about 600 minutes for Juventus. And that's this young buck on the left-hand side. And this is, of course, Samuel. And let me get the pronunciation right. Mbangula. Now, I've probably seen him a game or two max. So the details I can give you aren't amazing on him. He's not one that's been on my radar. Belgium international, 21 years old. Very good dribbler, very pacey. He plays on the left side, but is predominantly right-footed. So one of those ones who will cut in. If I was saying I likened him to a player, I don't really know. Maybe a little bit of a Doku from Man City, a little bit in terms of his style of play. He's quite tall looking on the pitch, but with a good low center of gravity and a good dribbler with decent pace. But he's still very young. He's still got a lot of time still to develop. And this one I don't mind. The difference between him and Weah, he's a lot younger than Weah. There's still a lot of potential in, looking forward to what he can produce. In terms of the games he's had at Juventus, it's really a bit of a handful. So at Juventus, he's played 23 games and he's scored for them 3 goals as well. And as I said, he's an under-21s international at Belgium as well. So there's a lot of potential in this one. This one is an exciting one in terms of one that nurtures and develops and grows. But is it what I want from this transfer window? Not really. I think they'll both be decent, but have they moved Forest up on that needle? Are we going to feel like we've progressed the squad further than we were last season, if that makes sense? Because these are still risky options. Samuel, he could develop into, the next Messi or whatever, or he could flop. It's like, it's on that knife edge. You got to trust, obviously, the Forest recruitment team. They tend to get it right more times than not with these slightly more unnamed players. Obviously, being at Juventus is a plus point as well. When it comes to Weah, he's kind of at that crossroads in his career, getting towards his prime at 25 now. Is he going to kick on? Don't know. Is he living a bit off his dad's name? Maybe. I don't know. Look, for all the full-fledged USA Forest fans out there, let me know what your thoughts are on Weah. I'm just in general not that hyped up right now about this transfer window. There's certain players I want to see come. If we're at Juventus and we've been linked with Douglas Luiz and Cambiasso and Vlahovic, they're the players you want to be getting from there. Established players that, Douglas Luiz has done it in the Premier League. Vlahovic, okay, he's not number one on my shopping list, but he's a, well-accomplished striker-ish for me. He's like the bottom tier of my shopping list, if you like. Cambiasso, he's right up there on my shopping list. Despite all the injuries that you lot moaned about, he's a quality left back for me. Those are the kind of names I want. And if Forest have gone into Juventus and plucked out these two kind of younger or second choice level tier players, the likelihood of us now going into Juventus and whipping out another 3 players and ending up pulling 5 for their squad obviously diminishes heavily. Because the noises from Douglas Luiz is that looks like he's not coming to Forest. He's twerking for the likes of United for some weird reason. Vlahovic is in no rush to make a decision on his future. And then Cambiasso isn't really in a rush to move Juventus. Not that he wouldn't want to come to Forest or anything, but he's quite stable and happy at Juventus. But what I will say about this deal on these 2 players is that it's low risk. 16 million roughly pounds for 2 players. One Samuel, who's got pure potential. One in Weah, who is established, who has been playing for Juventus, who has scored some key goals and some key games for them. Is not a massive risk, okay? But that's not the point I'm trying. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. We need like a Yilmaz. I think a Yilmaz would be quality on that right wing. We need players that are going to challenge those already there. I always say this, man, kind of raise the floor and raise the ceiling. That's what I would like to see. So a Yilmaz coming in, challenging Elanga. Elanga's got to think, oh crap, this guy's serious. I need to kind of make sure that I'm performing week in and week out in training, everything else. That kind of thing. That's what I want to see. These players that we've got to then get used to, and then you're going to have the fan base, kicking off if you dare to criticize, their performances early on, and then everyone's got to say, oh, give them time, they've got to settle in, blah, blah, blah. No, I want some ready-made players ready to go. I need a marquee signing, is what I'm saying. But get your thoughts in. A little whiny from me, I know, forgive me, it's been a long day, but these deals look like they're going to go through. The next step now is that Forest have to agree terms with the players and their agents, but the deal between Juventus and Forest is set. They haven't really said what the price is, but reports coming out saying 22 million euros, and we, as always, will keep you posted. Get your thoughts in on these players. Sorry I whined a little, but I want that big name. Enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you are new as well. There should be a video out later on Patreon talking more about Tech Store, because it ain't over on Europa, whatever the Palace fans say. We'll see you then. Come on, you Reds.